During an arraignment, which was delayed by a day because Rashad Newton had to be taken to a local hospital for some unknown reason, a judge made it seem like this case was cut and dry.
There is video surveillance that captured the alleged crime. There is a statement by the defendant. There was a firearm recovered. Obviously, it appears to be a very strong case for the state.
According to court documents, home surveillance video on Monday morning, just after 9, showed Rashad Newton, his girlfriend Alessia Mosqueda, and their 1-year-old daughter pulling up to a stop sign at Clifton and Lenox when Mosqueda got out with some bags. Then she allegedly tried to open the back door, presumably to grab the baby. And when Newton abruptly drove away, Mosqueda started yelling. Newton then allegedly stopped the car, extended his arm, and 6 apparent gunshots could be heard.
Any mother who fears for the safety of their children would do anything. I would have took a bullet for my daughter if I could to save my daughter.
Roughly 4 hours after Newton allegedly sped away from the scene, the warrant says cops caught up with him and his 1-year-old daughter at a residence on Eastern Street.
Within that home, an individual brought out what we believe to be the murder weapon, although that has not been confirmed by the lab yet.
Newton then surrendered, and at the police station, the warrant says he confessed to killing his girlfriend, saying he, quote, snapped. He then told police he intended to kill himself.
Your Honor, I would ask for medical and mental health attention on the MIT, as well as suicide watch.
Okay, so ordered.
Bond remains set at $3 million, and Newton is due back in court on April the 6th. I'm Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.